Hello and welcome to the first video on the Matt's Motors channel. Please, if you do enjoy the video or find it helpful in any way, drop a like and subscribe to keep up to date with all the videos to come. Now, without further ado, let's get on to the video. Today, we've got the top 10 cars with the cheapest car insurance for first time buyers. Driving offers a young person freedom in the world. It allows them to go and explore the world as long as they can afford a tank of petrol. Anyone who's been through the pain of insuring their first car or is currently looking to knows the extraordinary prices the car companies charge. But at number 10 for cheapest car insurance, we have the VW Polo. The VW Polo is one of the most standout small cars you can get on the market today. It guarantees reliability as it is made by one of the top car companies in the world. Specifically for our entry at number 10, the 1 litre model offers a not so extraordinary 65 brake horsepower, but it does fall into the 1E insurance group, which is the lowest insurance group possible in this country. The VW was at the bottom of the list though due to its pricing, as this car is not cheap. But if you are willing to splash the cash, the SE trim offers a slightly better 75 brake horsepower version that also falls into the insurance 1E group. Now these cars are by no means cheap, and a decent spec and model can be picked up for around £5,000 to £6,000. But do be warned, not all Polo models fall into the lowest insurance group, so make sure you do check up on the car before making any offers. Next, at number 9, we have the Hyundai i10. The South Korean brand Hyundai have created a small runaround car in the i10. The updated look in the newer models leaves the car feeling fresh and modern at a lower price than other car brands. For first-time car insurers, the i10 sneaks under £1,000, as the best premium price on average is around £950 annually. Surprisingly, the i10 falls into an insurance group higher than the Polo, but only slightly, residing in the number 2 insurance group in the UK. The car packs a fairly lacklustre 66 brake horsepower, but that's fairly standard for low insurance cars. With a bit of digging through the second-hand market, you may be able to find a car kitted out with a couple of modern features, such as a multi-function camera and lane dispute warning systems that can help decrease the car's insurance premiums further. In the second-hand market, the new model i10s, so anything from around 2016 to 2017 onwards, can be priced anywhere from £4,000 to £7,000. But a car in good condition with fairly low mileage will set you back around £5,500. Next, at number 8, we have the small but stylish Ford Ka. This car has become a staple on British roads and is very popular amongst young drivers, as it is both cheap to insure and tax. The car, much like the i10, creeps under the £1,000 per annum for car insurance, with a good priced car insurance being around £950 for the year. This car is actually very desirable for many people, as it is very cheap to tax at just £30. Although the 4Ka only gives out around 68 brake horsepower, new 2018 models with slightly more horsepower can be purchased with around 85 brake horsepower. But this will obviously increase both the price of the insurance and the price of the car, and in my opinion, it's not really worth it. Some newer models do offer some features such as hill start assist, an immobiliser and a perimeter alarm, which could all contribute towards a cheaper car insurance premium. A used 4Ka can vary in price, like every other car on this list, but a good model at low mileage will set you back anywhere from around £4,500 to around £5,500. Now, at number 7, we have the Vauxhall Corsa. These cars have a reputation in the UK that they are driven by some interesting characters, but it's what the car offers that makes it perfect for first-time buyers. The cars can be modded at very little cost, and these mods actually make a big difference visually. The Vauxhall Corsa is often described as sporty and stylish, unlike many of its Super Mini counterparts, and has continuously over the past decade stayed at the top of the Super Mini category. Although the Corsa does have a very wide range of engines to choose from, it's only the lower power ones that are cheaper to insure. Much like every other car on this list, as soon as you look to increase the power under the hood, the insurance is only going to go one way, and that's up. The Vauxhall Corsa does have some advantages though, as it is cheap to run, but do be warned, some of its models are not rated as safe as some of its competitors. Corsas have flooded the market over recent years, so it's easy to pick one up for next to nothing when you compare it to some of the cars on this list. A nice model with low powered engine will probably cost you around £3,000 to £5,000. The Vauxhall Corsa is not everyone's cup of tea, but if you're looking for a sleek and stylish car for a lower price, then this could be the one for you. Next, at number 6, we have the Peugeot 107. I have to be honest, I struggle to get excited when I look at this car. It is by far not the most captivating car on this list, but it's perfect for first-time drivers as road tax and insurance can be at the lower end. You can no longer buy a new 107 as they are no longer in production, as it was halted in favour of producing the newer 208 model. This is something to keep in mind if you are looking for a new car, as this 1 litre small car was only produced from 2008 to 2012. Remember, the older a car gets, usually the more expensive it costs to insure. So if you are looking to pick one of these up, make sure you do your homework into the age of the car first. This car is both the cheapest to buy on the second-hand market and the cheapest to insure that we've had on this list so far. Insurance premiums have been reported as low as £900 for this car, but realistically, you should be expecting something closer to £950 or up as a price for the year. As previously stated, this car is the cheapest we have seen on this list so far, as it is one of the older models, but you can find a nice 107 on the second-hand market for around £2,000 to £3,000. Moving on to number 5, we have the Fiat 500. The Fiat 500 has become very popular in the UK since its release in 2008. Specifically, in this case, the 1.2 litre engine offers the lowest premium insurance cost when compared to its 1.4 litre petrol engine and 1.3 litre diesel engine counterparts. A brand new Fiat 500 can be rather expensive and is probably one of the most expensive cars to buy brand new on this list. But be careful when searching for these cars on the second-hand market, as some of their parts in the older models are prone to breaking, and this could have an effect on your insurance premium. Although, as these cars are so popular, parts are easy to come by, and some of these issues in the old models can be easily fixed at a lower cost. As the Fiat 500 is in the Insurance 2 category, the lowest premiums that I could find were around £925. Also, the 1.2 litre engine does not cost a lot to tax at only £30. A decent Fiat 500 can be found on a second-hand market for around £2,000 to £4,000. Now the car missing out on the top 3 spot at number 4, we have the Skoda Citigo. In my opinion, this car is a perfect little car as it is surprisingly spacious inside. The option of having both 3 and 5 door models of this car means that this car can appeal to different people depending on what they want from their daily vehicle. Now, Skoda Citigos have not been around for a long time, having only been off the production line since 2008. So if you are looking for a newer, more contemporary model of car, this could be the one for you. Although, do be warned, this car does have the lowest brake horsepower on this list at 59, but due to the height of the vehicle and lack of weight, this is not very noticeable. The Skoda falls into the number 2 insurance group, and the lowest premium I could find was only just less than the Fiat 500 at £910 for the year. But do be warned, before purchasing this car, one drawback is it does in fact cost a fair amount to tax for the year, costing around £145. If you are looking for this car, don't be persuaded to spend more if you see a sport model. The Citigo Sport only provides a 1 horsepower upgrade to the engine. Decent Skoda Citigos can be found on the second-hand market anywhere from £3,000 to £5,000. The first car breaking into the top 3 is the Toyota Aygo, specifically the model before it underwent a facelift in 2014 and entered into its second generation. The Japanese maker Toyota have produced a small and compact 1 litre car that isn't designed to blow people's socks off, but instead to be cheap and affordable and easy to maintain. The 68 brake horsepower that is packed under the 1 litre Aygo bonnet is by far enough to push this small and light car around. This car is very similar to the Peugeot 107 that has already been featured on this list, but the biggest difference is the insurance premium prices that have been reported with this car. On the internet, people have claimed to be able to get this car insured for around £700, but the lowest cost I could find was just under £1,000 per year at £910. This car won't wow you in the corners, but that's not its intention. It will get you from A to B, and it won't cost a lot on fuel to do so. The Toyota Aygo is one of the cheaper cars on this list, as it does not come with many luxurious add-ons, but a decent Aygo model on the second-hand market goes for around £2,000 to £4,000. Now I know this is cheating a bit, as the C1 is essentially the same car as the Toyota Aygo, but the C1 facelift model comes in at number 2 on our list. The self-proclaimed compact city car was intentionally built for parking in small spaces. The car comes with both hill start and a reversing camera as standard, which is not often seen on a car at this price. You may be surprised to see the Citroen C1 on this list, as if you know your cars, you may know that this particular vehicle resides in the highest insurance group that we've seen on this list so far, being in the number 7 group. But do not be put off by this. The C1 is drastically cheaper to insure than many other cars that it shares its insurance group with. The 68 brake horsepower car costs on average, on comparison sites, around £900 to insure a year. This car is also perfect for those looking for a car with a soft top, as the C1 offers various models with this feature that shouldn't have too much of an effect on your annual insurance premiums. The C1 costs £145 tax a year, and it's a bit more pricey to buy second hand than many other cars on this list. A second generation C1 will cost around £4,000 to £6,000 in the second hand market. And finally, at number 1 on this list we have the VW Up. This car is an entry-level VW, so it's drastically different to the luxury features that are offered in the Polo that can be seen at number 10 on our list. The Up can be fairly confusing when researching, as there is also an electric and GTI version of this car. The standard Up model is both lightweight to drive and compact to park. This car is joint first with the Citigo, with having the least amount of power with 59 bhp under the hood. But much like the Citigo, the VW is also lightweight and low to the ground, so this small reduction in power is not too noticeable. Our car at number 1 is the only vehicle on this list to have an insurance premium cost that falls under £900 a year, with the lowest annual premium cost I could find being around £880. The Up is fairly decently priced for what you get, although it does cost £145 to tax a year. A decent second-hand model can be found from anywhere between £3,000 to £6,000. The Up is fairly decently priced for what you get, although it does cost £145 to tax a year. A decent second-hand model can be found from anywhere between £3,000 to £6,000. And there you have it, the top 10 cars with the cheapest car insurance for first-time buyers. If you did enjoy the video or found it helpful in any way, please like the video and comment down below if you're able to get a cheap insurance quote after this. Finally, please subscribe to be notified on all the videos I have planned in the near future. I'll see you in the next one.